You don't have to be a genius to conquer the LSAT, and you don't have to study 10 hours a day. Most students are stuck because they're doing the wrong things. Today, I'll share with you how to overcome LSAT anxiety, break through plateaus, and create a game plan to dominate test day. First, for those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, I'm going to be real with you. The LSAT, of course, matters a lot. Law schools do weigh your LSAT score more heavily than your undergraduate GPA, and a higher score can get you tens of thousands of dollars in scholarship money, get you into a better law school, or both. I think a key for a lot of students is avoiding debt, and that's what I want to help you do. But the thing is, the LSAT is not an IQ test. It is a learnable skill. That's why I see my students improving their scores by 10, 20, 30 points or more by putting in the work after they join our programs. So if you've ever thought, I'm just not good at this, I want you to stop right there. Everyone has to start somewhere, and your current abilities, your current practice test results do not determine where you'll end up. A cold diagnostic tells you nothing other than the fact that you haven't yet put in the work or haven't studied yet the right way. But the good news is you can. The difference between a 140 and a 170 comes down to preparation, strategy, and consistency. Back when I first started studying for the LSAT, I thought I would never crack the code, but learning the LSAT is like learning a new language. The more you practice, the more natural it's going to feel. LSAT prep is a process that you can master with the right approach. So to start with, let's talk about motivation. I know staying motivated during LSAT prep can feel impossible because it's not the most exciting material, but if you can connect your LSAT prep daily grind to your bigger goals and picture the life you want, the school you want to attend, the job you want after graduation, and recognize that every single practice question you complete brings you closer to that vision. But motivation, of course, isn't enough. The dark side of motivation is doing too much, and we want you to, of course, avoid burnout. When you're studying too much, too fast, 6-8 hours in a single day might feel productive at first, but it just isn't sustainable for the vast majority of students. That's why at LSAT Unplugged, we create personalized day-by-day study plans for all our students, helping you study more effectively and efficiently so that you won't feel like you need to put in 6-8 hours a day. And we even build in days off so you won't burn out because LSAT prep is a marathon, not a sprint. Now, if you'd like my help on your journey to scoring a 170 or above on the LSAT, if you'd like my help in creating a personalized day-by-day LSAT study plan, you can check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out because the good news is 2 to 3 hours of focused, high-quality practice will get you a whole lot further than a marathon study session of 8 hours that leaves you feeling drained and fatigued. Now, if the idea of performing on test day makes you sweat, if you're feeling LSAT anxiety, you're not alone. Test anxiety is real, and it can crush even the best prepared students, but it doesn't have to control you. The best way to fight it is proper preparation for the experience of test day itself, because if you've prepared well, if you feel like you've done it all before, your confidence will follow from that. So you want to simulate test day as much as possible, practicing under real-timed conditions in an environment that mirrors the test. And so if you're going to be taking the test at a prometric testing center, then practice in an environment where other people are around, where there's a little bit of ambient noise. If you'll be taking the LSAT remotely on your own device from home, then take your practice tests there. The more unfamiliar your test day environment is, the more you might struggle and feel anxiety. But the more that you feel like you've done it all before, the easier and smoother test day will feel. And we want you doing several practice tests under simulated conditions before the big day. In our study plans for students, we typically build in 5 and ideally 10 full-length timed exams before test day. And we want to help you channel your anxiety into positive energy, into focus. When your brain is buzzing with nerves, use that to your advantage. Remind yourself, I've prepared for this, and I know what I'm doing. Now, if you've ever felt stuck at your score, if you've plateaued, you're not alone. Score plateaus are all too common and all too frustrating parts of LSAT prep. But the truth is, a plateau doesn't mean that you've stopped improving. It just means it's time for you to tweak your strategy. So we want to help you identify your weak spots and figure out which question types trip you up the most, whether it's a certain logical reasoning question type like strengthen, weaken, main point, or it's something in particular for reading comprehension. We'll help you dial in on that and focus it. We adjust your study plan accordingly because once you know your weakness, you can focus it and target that area in particular, whether it's drilling that question by type or reviewing some foundational material on that topic, or discussing that topic with a coach or tutor. We'll build a personalized day-by-day study plan for you to account for any weaknesses and make adjustments for it along the way. And of course, we can orient your one-on-one coaching sessions accordingly. Again, if you're not yet in our programs and you'd like my help, check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Of course, we don't want you to only drill your weak areas because we don't want you to get rusty in the areas that you're doing relatively better on. And so we involve a mix of both weak areas for drilling, timed practice tests, and individual sections, depending on what your daily and weekly schedule looks like. And of course, not every approach, not every study method works for every single student. And so if the prep that you're currently doing, the course you're currently in, or the self-study program that you're currently following isn't getting you the results you need, you might need to change it up. So if you're only using textbooks or only using free YouTube videos, for example, it may be time to invest in a more personalized program with one-on-one coaching, or at least a small group program where you can get feedback on how you're thinking about things and unlock your potential. You've got to experiment until you find what works, because the LSAT isn't just about learning the material. It's about finding the process that maximizes your performance on test day itself with full-length timed exams. So be flexible and don't be afraid to pivot your results. Now, here's one final thought for you before we wrap up. Remember that your LSAT score does not define you. It does not reflect your full potential. And if you don't hit your target the first time, you can always retake the LSAT. Law schools do not average multiple LSAT scores, but rather they only take the highest. And for this reason, I recommend that everyone retake the LSAT at least once, because through luck alone, you might do a few points better. And if you don't, no big deal. You may want to register for the following LSAT beyond the one you're targeting, just for the peace of mind knowing that it's not all riding on any one particular day. Because while the LSAT as a whole is incredibly important, no one particular test day will make or break you. And of course, if you'd like my help, whether you're taking the LSAT for the first time or you're retaking, I'd be glad to help you out. Check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.